A very good afternoon to you. This is TV Sapienza on Star Times Channel 260. Today is Tuesday, the 8th of July 2025. My name is Joe Igbo. In our news headlines this afternoon, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NiMet has released a list of states that will be at risk of flooding this month. The Delta State Civil Service Commission has forced the retirement of over 200 civil servants who were supposed to have retired but falsified their ages to remain in service. The Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah has commissioned the state-owned airline Enugu Air. And from our foreign desk, the death toll from flash floods that struck the U.S. state of Texas on Friday has now risen to more than 100 people, and an unknown number of others are still missing. Now the details of the news. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency NiMet has released a list of states that will be at risk of flooding this month. The flash flood risk alert for July 2025, released yesterday in Abuja by the agency, shows the states with varying probable risks of experiencing flash flooding due to the onset of rainfall across the country. NiMet says Sokoto State has a high risk of experiencing flash floods. Other states with notable risks of flash flooding are Kaduna, Zamfara, Yobe, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Jigawa, Adamawa, Taraba, Niger, Nasarawa, Benue, Ogun, Ondo, Lagos, Delta, Edo, Cross River, Rivers, and Akwa Ibom. The agency advised residents of the states to relocate if necessary, clear drainage systems, prepare emergency kits, turn off electricity and gas during flooding, and strengthen mudslide prevention. The Anambra State Police Command and the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC have restated their readiness to conduct the August 16 senatorial by-election and November 8 governorship election in the state. The Commissioner of State, Ikoye Urutugu, and the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state, Elizabeth Agu, said this while speaking to newsmen in Oka. Urutugu said that the police have been meeting with other security agencies and the INEC to ensure hitch-free elections in the state, adding that the police was collaborating with other security agencies to ensure security before, during, and after the elections. On her part, the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in Anambra State, Elizabeth Agu, said that the commission was ready for the elections, adding that the continuous voter registration exercise beginning on July 8 was strictly for governorship elections and not for the senatorial by-election. According to her, the CVR, or Continuous Voter Register, will commence on July 17, adding that it will run from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. She urged eligible voters in the states to come out en masse to register afresh or make necessary corrections to their biodata, adding that nobody will be registered in absentia or by proxy. Agu assured the people of adequate security during the elections and encouraged them to participate fully without fear. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has released the results of its mop-up Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, held on Saturday, June 28. In a statement yesterday in Abuja by its public communications advisor, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, JAMB confirmed that the results of 11,161 candidates who sat for the mop-up exam have been released out of the 96,838 who were scheduled to participate. The statement said that candidates who are not able to access their results have been found not to have fully complied with the instruction to send UTME results as one word text to 55019 or 66019 from the same phone number or SIM card with which they registered for the UTME. The Delta State Civil Service Commission has forced the retirement of over 200 civil servants who were supposed to have retired but falsified their ages to remain in service. The chairman of the commission and chairman of the State Screening Committee, Chief Roslyn Amioku, stated this while fielding questions from newsmen in Asaba. She hinted that those with age falsifications and questionable credentials were affected in the ongoing screening exercise carried out as part of civil service reforms to ensure productivity and effective service delivery. Chief Amioko explained that the ongoing screening exercise had revealed that the majority of those still working in the public service are above working age. She noted that hundreds of civil servants who were supposed to have retired 5 years ago were still in service, receiving salary, adding that many of them reduced their age to the extent that their own children were even older than them. You are watching TV Sapientia on Star Times, channel 260. The news continues shortly after this time out. Please don't go away. The Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah has commissioned the state-owned airline, Enugu Air. Governor Mbah unveiled the new carrier yesterday, describing the event as a bold step and a positive example of government-private sector collaboration. The governor said one of the key objectives of his administration was to make Enugu the premier destination for investments, living and tourism in Nigeria. Governor Mbah described the airline as a gift to residents of Enugu State, expressing optimism that it will unlock new economic opportunities, improve connectivity, and elevate the state profile nationally and internationally. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, commended Governor Peter Mbah for his forward-thinking approach in attracting private investments to Enugu Airport. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, reopened Enugu Airport in April this year after shutting it down temporarily after a rupture was discovered on the asphalt surface at a critical section of the runway. The Kano State Command of the Nigeria Correctional Service, NCOS, has said 58 inmates from its custodial facilities are currently sitting for this year's National Examination Council, or NECO Senior School Certificate Examination SSCE. A statement by the command's public relations officer, Mushbahu Kofa Nasrawa in Kano, said the milestone was achieved following the payment of registration fees by the Kano state government under the leadership of Governor Abba Yusuf. Kofa Nasrawa described the gesture as a testament to the state government's commitment to the welfare, rehabilitation, reformation, and reintegration of inmates in the command. The command expressed profound gratitude to the governor for his unwavering support and partnership, adding that it would boost the morale of inmates and provide them with a second chance at education and a brighter future. Some branches of the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASUU have announced the suspension of services following the delay in payment of their June 2025 salaries. The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics ASUU has also threatened to embark on strike should the government fail to release their salaries. The chairman of the University of Jos branch of ASUU, Joe Morwus, announced the withdrawal of services by members of the union at the university, citing the delay in the payment of their June 2025 salaries. Morwus said this followed the National Executive Council resolution directing branches to take action when salaries are not paid by the third day of a new month. He said union members have abstained from lectures and statutory meetings. The chairman stated further that any time salaries were not paid by the third day of the month, there will be a continuous withdrawal of services by the lecturers. He also said the strike monitoring team of the branch had been activated to ensure compliance. The Abia State government has raised the alarm over the activities of some politicians in some parts of the state involved in permanent voter card or PVC buying. A government announcement yesterday signed by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Media and Publicity, Ferdinand Ekoma, said the politicians deployed their agents to various wards to fraudulently obtain information contained on the permanent voter cards or PVCs of unsuspecting rural dwellers in exchange for the sum of 10,000 naira each. The state government described the act as a deceptive guise that it is to create a non-existent e-wallet for employment. However, the government said the intention of the sponsors and perpetrators of this criminal act is to compromise the authenticity of such PVCs and render the owners unfit to vote during the 2027 elections. The government therefore called on the people of Abia State to abstain from partaking in selling of PVCs, saying especially rural dwellers to henceforth distance themselves from any individual or group who may approach them for the purpose of obtaining information contained on their PVCs or any other personal information that may disenfranchise or endanger them in any way. Now in this foreign news, the death toll from the flash floods that struck the U.S. state of Texas on Friday has now climbed to more than 100 people, and an unknown number of others are missing. Search and rescue teams are wading through mud-piled riverbanks as more rain and thunderstorms threatened the region, but hope was fading of finding any more survivors 4 days after the catastrophe. Camp Mystic, a Christian all-girls summer camp, confirmed at least 27 girls and staff were among the dead. 10 girls and a camp counselor are still missing. The White House, meanwhile, rejected suggestions that budget cuts at the National Weather Service, or NWS, could have inhibited the disaster response. To end the Sapientia TV news at 1 p.m., a recap of the major headlines. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, or NiMet, has released a list of states that will be at risk of flooding this month of July. The Delta State Civil Service Commission has forced the retirement of over 200 civil servants who were supposed to have retired but falsified their ages to remain in service. The Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah has commissioned the state-owned airline, Enugu Air. The death toll from the flash floods that struck the U.S. state of Texas on Friday has now climbed to more than 100 people, and an unknown number of others are still missing. That was the Sapientia TV news at 1 p.m. On behalf of the editorial and technical crew, I am Joe Igbo. Good afternoon and thanks for choosing TV Sapientia.